Hi there, you are tuned into Beauty and Braids, the podcast where I, Karyne Tenard, has conversations about all things relevant to personal growth and development. Just a heads up, I'm unfiltered. You're welcome. Hey guys, it's been a long time since you heard from me. I guess it was last Monday, but anyways, this time I am bringing you conversation. This conversation is going to be with this guy that I met so randomly. Okay, so his name is, thank God I was born in a Haitian household, so I have a lot of like accents and stuff. So it is Djimra Koumtog. So yes, I said it. Yay. Okay, so Djimra, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Did you say Haitian household?
Yeah, both my parents are Haitian. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, so yeah.
Haïtien, femme créole,
Yes,
Jacques Mel, Jean-Jean, John-John.
yeah. Dia Jean soup jumeau. There's a lot I don't eat no more, which is a griot. I don't do that no more. When I told my family that, they were like, "You're not even Haitian no more. Like, how do you not eat griot like this?" And I was like, "Man, I just can't. I can't do it." So, how are you doing? Thank you so much for even joining me on this conversation on Beauty and Braids, of course.
Thank you. Thank you for even thinking of inviting me. I feel honored.
Well, it's a pleasure on my part too. So, okay, we're gonna just start. I want to talk about like how we met. So, I just want people to know that every time I have somebody on my show, it's somebody that I actually know. It's not random people that I'm just like, "Hey, can you be on my podcast?" No, it's like people that I genuinely made some kind of connection with. So, random went to Essence Fashion House, and everybody knows that I carry my camera sometimes, like wherever I go, because I just am a girl with a camera, not a photographer, but I had that in my background. But I seen you and two other guys just taking pictures and posing, and I was just like, you know what, let me get basically the scene, like where I'm at, little highlights in the whole fashion house thing, and took a picture of you. And then I was just like about to go on with my conversation with Madison J. And then you're like, "Hey, let me see." I was like, "Oh, okay, like here you go." And then it was like you introduced yourself, and then you talked about the mixer, the singles mixer that you had coming up on, I think it was the 4th.
The 17, like the weekend of Valentine's,
Right.
February.
Right.
Yeah, that weekend.
Yeah. So it was just like the events were like back to back. So I was just like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll come through." Like, I had never been around that many Africans. So I was like, this would be a real cool opportunity, to just expose myself to something else. I'm like always around like Haitians or Trinidadians, American, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's never a collective thing. I listen to African music all the time, Afro beats and all that. And I watch a lot of African movies. I used to watch them. I don't know if you ever seen Ciara and Beyonce.
I heard about it. Like, believe it or not, I hate those movies, like especially the old ones, like before Netflix started, producing better quality. I hate them. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? You're right. Like, the quality was horrible. Like, but it was like for the Ciara and Beyonce, the only reason why I watched it was because of the concept. Like, their plot and the storyline was real captivating. You know, like and then there was the name Ciara and Beyonce. And I was like, oh my god, let me watch this. And now the Netflix, and then I like kind of like gradually stopped watching those movies because there wasn't that much quality in
Exactly.
yeah, in the Haitian or African movies. And I was like, let me. And then now Netflix started, you know, hosting a whole bunch of African movies.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling everybody, I'm like, yo, y'all need to watch these African movies. It's quality. Like, the picture, the sound, like they got captions. Like it's just, you know,
Insane. You
yeah,
came a long way.
a long way. Like I was like the acting is on point. I'm there like, yo, this I really was kind of ignorant to really good at like I was there like they got actors in Africa. Like I was just like, where are they finding
That's funny.
but you know, I'm older now, so oh, okay. Yeah, you know, everybody goes to school for something. Um, but yeah, so I seen you mention Queen Sono, and I seen you. I think you took a few photos with them, or you went to a screening.
Yeah.
Now, how was that?
Yeah.
Because they're really
Wait, which one is that one?
Queen Sono. That's the
My memory.
It's a
Hmm.
series on Netflix. It's with this girl who I guess her mom
Oh yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so I seen that and I was like, yo, this is like action, like wow, like it was really good and there's so many different like it's so complicated, it's complex, should I say? Like it's
Yeah.
really there's a storyline within a storyline, like everybody has like this connection or
It's
something like that. So
it's
okay,
uh
so
it's another.
it is. I can't wait till I done binge watched it all. So I was just like, I'm running out of African
Hold on.
movies to watch. Um, so
Queen Stone was because I I mean you gotta love Instagram, because a good friend of mine started I don't like your stories, Instagram stories. I just saw Netflix. She was raving about it, and I was like, let me check it out, and I liked it honestly. What's powerful about it is they are finally touching on issues that need to be addressed, when it comes to the state of Africa. It's like there's a reason why Africa is the way it is. Bad leadership, disaster when it comes to the way 99% of African nations are led. It's like it's a whole joke. It's embarrassing, it's really like, and people don't understand that millions of Africans are affected, when you have like governments that are led by presidents and presidents who only think about their stomach. It's like it's insane. But the entertainment factor, and touching upon like the serious subject, that's the thing that got me
right,
supporting.
sorry, it's because I do see that you're really like a huge activist when it comes to the government issues in Africa. Like you protesting, you be having like you were right there, like you were right there. I'm looking through Instagram, like wow, like, he in the front line. Yo, I'm like wow, like that is really admirable. And I know
Thank
it takes a lot of time and it's a lot of energy that is put into that.
you.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you know, like getting people to even help rally and just having just dealing with the people who are probably trying. Well, I know they're probably trying to get you to not do that. So
Yeah.
to push past that, that is like that's strength. So and then
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to touch on something else. I'm going to go back to that. But yeah, I'm going to keep saying your name every now and then because I don't want to forget it because it's. um, so, okay, let me go back to what we were saying. Yes, there's a lot of corruption in the governments when people think that, you know what, I'm just going to do what I want to do because I'm not going to live that long, so it's not going to affect me.
Yeah.
And it's just like really, you don't care, and there's
Exactly.
a in that. So I'm a strong believer in karma. So like, it's just your family. Like you think about these people in the government, like they have their own family, and their family is going to suffer, but they don't see the bigger picture. When people are greedy, they rarely see the bigger picture. Like they think they'll never be touched, but in the long run, they will.
Exactly.
So do good. I mean, that is
Yeah.
basically what I mean.
It is. It is. It is. It's. I mean, when it comes to, when it comes to even doing good, it's like two extremes. It's like, you do good or you do bad, and most of those folks who lead, not even Africa. The sad thing is, Black nations, even the Caribbean. I I try my best to be a citizen of the world. Especially when it comes to the Black world. The Caribbean disaster, like from Haiti to Jamaica, is like, and even now Guyana. You hear about Trinidad. It's like the leadership. It's like, what's going on in the world? Like, like those Black supposedly leaders and presidents are far from being good. You know, and they literally are at the other spectrum where they utilize what's supposed to be a country's wealth for their own personal benefit, and for what? It doesn't make sense at all. And that's what I try to do with my platform. And I
Yeah.
saw your outline.
Right. Which the outline that I sent you for this
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna
the outline.
that whole like-minded people, and I'm like that aligns with me. Like being around people who think like you, not necessarily agree with you 100%, but just are on
Mhm.
the same wavelength where like you have an understanding or you're moving in the same direction kind of way. But like I'm not looking for, like being around people that's just
Mhm.
yes people all the time. Like, um,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
No. It's more of like you passionate, you going for your dreams. Those people who stand for what they believe in. And me being Haitian, like having growing up not in Haiti, but to to be from a bloodline or where people
Mhm.
stood up for freedom and was
Exactly.
like, yo, nah, I ain't with this slavery stuff. Like, I'm ready to
Mhm.
fight. And it was not only men, but it was women standing right beside
Yeah.
the men fighting and cutting people heads off. Like, yo, we not dealing with this. Um,
Yeah. And
so
we don't talk about that enough, actually. We don't talk about Haiti in that context. We don't. And I feel like it's done on purpose, like it, there is something about history that empowers you, especially in your greatest moment. And And I feel like the power to be, or the elite, or whatever you call them, who control the media, it's like they know that if you and I know our true history from like the fourth century, before
Mm-hmm.
we as Black people, we Africans even got in contact with Portuguese, because according to record, Portuguese were the first to be in contact with Africans. I got to double check, but overall, before any contact with white folks, we've had castles, like, dynasties, and it's like that history. It's not even fantasies. It's like the real history
The
that,
true kings and queens.
yeah, it's like the history is there. Like, you go and you will see, like, Timbuktu, for example, the first university. It's like there's archaeology there that tells you that there were flourishing civilization system. Bill of Rights, for example, has been an African thing. It's like, fast forward even to Haiti, 1804. Black folks who had no ammunition compared to the French, they were able to overthrow like a whole setup. That's incredible, That's
Mm-hmm.
incredible.
Yep. And when I think about it, I know a lot of Haitians. When I grew up, a lot of Haitians didn't want to be known as Haitians, and I felt like I had to wear my parents' country on my back because I didn't get bullied. Like there were people who were getting bullied. I didn't know about it because I wouldn't
Mhm.
have stand for it. You know what I'm saying? Like when people are like, oh, like they talk about Haitians, and I'm just like, well, who the hell are you talking about? And they be like,
Yeah,
Karyne, you Haitian? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, oh, you
the
you a
other,
different. I'm like,
yeah,
don't ever disrespect Haitians or anything like that. And I have brothers and sisters that pulled away from that because we were getting bullied, and I'm like, yo, like never,
yeah,
like it's the confidence. You know what I'm saying? When you know the type of people you come from, and then
mhm,
from like Haiti, we came from Africa. Like, I mean, it's just.
yeah,
And a lot of Haitians don't even believe that. They're like, well, I'm not African. I'm like, bruh, like, like
yeah. It's sad. I mean,
bloodline.
you brought up something amazing, because believe it or not, Africans have gone through the same thing. And I've been in New York. You know what? Let me just introduce myself to your folks. I'm
Okay.
Djimra Koumtog. Djimra Djimra actually means in my native language, which is Ngambai. Ngambai is spelled N apostrophe Gambay. Sometimes you put an E at the end. Again, N apostrophe Gambay sometimes, but either way, Ngambai. So Jimra in my native language means Jim means your hand. Jim. If I said my hand is Jim, if your hand is DJIG, your hand. But Jimra Ra means to create, to make in my native language. Jimra, to
Gotcha.
make, to create, to build, all of that. And it's like my name. And Kumtog. So born in the Republic of Chad, a lot of times people don't know what I'm talking about, like what Chad, Central Africa, very landlocked, and Nigeria is a neighbor. Niger is another country, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Libya, and Sudan. So imagine, very landlocked. We have a lake, but still it is landlocked, and half of the country is a Sahara. So
Mm.
the camel culture is like, think of Egypt. Yeah, we have the camel desert, turbans and stuff. So very hot. one of the hottest places in the world, like extremely hot.
Oh,
And
okay.
I've been in New York since December 2000, so I've been here for 20 plus years now, 20 years. And
Wow.
in relationship, like relating to what you said, you were born here, but Haitian, you are considered first generation American, right? Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because your parents were Haitians.
Right.
Yeah. So imagine I came at 16. So now you guys know my age. I came at 16.
Okay, let me do the math.
Came to the US at 16. Came to Queens, just like the Prince of Zamunda. Um, at 16.
I'm done.
At 16,
Okay, coming to America.
I was not looking for my queen. I could tell that for sure.
Okay, we're going back to that. We're gonna put a pin in that one. Okay, go ahead.
So so we came, and I I could humbly say that like a lot of like diplomat kids, because I came at because my dad was at the UN. So it's like when I say come to America, I mean it like I could relate to it on many levels because we were pretty much like very well off, and we came because my dad was actually the ambassador of Chad at the UN. So now you know something else about me, Karen. Um,
Well, you. Okay, we're gonna put a pin in that one too.
yeah, you see.
You really act like you really said it. You're like Princess Zamunda. Like, okay, go
Yeah,
ahead. All right.
and I want to say humbly because in Queens we were in Kew Gardens, very Jewish neighborhood, one of the few black people in the neighborhood, and we had like a beautiful home. I mean, that was the government home. It's called a embassy. Technically, it's an embassy, right? Because my dad
Mm-hmm.
was 81, so it's like you know we were in Kew Gardens, and we had a chef and we had a driver. I went to public high school though, because my dad got 10 kids for the record, 10 kids. So
Oh,
six of us came, and the seventh came after, but the other two stayed in Chad. Yeah, actually, no, seven of us came, and the eighth one, which was my older brother, came a year or two after and moved to Canada. But the other two are back in Chad. But my dad got 10 kids, and between my sister and I, my little brother, is like a year difference. And it's
okay.
like we were like four going to high school. It's like, yo, I can't put you guys in a private school because technically most UN kids go to the UN school or some type of private school. But we went to a public high school, which I love.
Wow. Right, because you get to meet different people. You understand. It's very diverse in thinking.
If
Like
you're not
the kids.
sheltered, if you're not sheltered,
Right.
you're not
Yes,
sheltered.
and I grew up in public school all my life, and people. I had one teacher who thought I was in private school. That I used to go to private school, and I was like, no, I actually just have a really strict parent.
That's my
Uh,
point. That's the secret. Your parents though, because you make the most of it because people don't understand. At least I believe we around the same age. Maybe I'm a little older than you, but like back in my day,
yeah.
I had a teacher who was giving us like like private level type of education. Amazing,
Hmm.
and you make the most of it. It's like it's either you apply yourself and do your work, or you follow. Like remember back in the days, like I was the coolest kid, and the coolest kid is usually like the person who doesn't care about school, right?
Yes. Yeah, I was actually cool with all the kids that didn't care about school, but I was the geek. I was like the nerd.
Okay.
Because I really liked learning. Like that's just in my nature where I'm like always asking questions and then I end up being doing good. But I used to hang out with the cool kids, the kids that cut class, and I
Mm-hmm.
used to be like, I'm not gonna follow you. Like, I'm not finna get beat. Like, not for you.
That's powerful.
um,
More credit to your parents, for real. More credit to your parents, because I was
well, it was just my mom.
I was saying all that because you knew who you are. I came to the US like, yo, I'm African. And it's like all we've known African leaders and African presidents. We come to this Western world, US, all mostly white people. But I had a strong sense of, since day one, since I landed in this country, man, just like you carrying Haiti and the Caribbean and that, I can understand, like the perception of Africans. Now Africa is cool. Not everybody wants to be African.
Oh my God. Tell me,
Right?
everybody wants to be Asian too.
But we had to fight for that. Like,
Everybody wants to speak,
we welcome everybody. I'm just saying, we welcome the Afro Latino especially.
Right. Right. But they all come from the same motherland. So it's like welcome back. But I get it. And like it's in fashion now to be African, you know. That's big. Like everybody goes to Afro punk event or something and they throw on a print, like
Yeah.
with the culture. So I definitely get that. And yeah, like I'm like at 16 coming here that means you came and started in high school.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a thick accent
Like how
on purpose, and people think that I've been here for like 2, 3 years. No, I've been here for a long time. I purposely kept my accent too. Like, it's the fun thing. My, well, it's also like your mindset because my little sisters who were like 3 years, 4 years, 7 years younger than me, they sound like they're straight
Mhm.
up New Yorkers.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh wow. How do
yeah.
you how do you manage to keep your accent after 20 years?
It's literally the initial um, setup of your mind. Like at 16, I was just like it's funny. It's like you project the future. It's like, yo, I don't want to sound like anybody and everybody. I don't.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was made fun of, like, my accent, like made fun of, but it's really knowing who you are. That's why I really like what you said earlier. Like, you were not ashamed to be Haitian, and you even were willing to stand up for other folks who are being made fun of. And that goes back to, guess what? The image of Africa by the media, or the image of Haiti by the media. We don't understand that the media for a long time has been an enemy. Now they're understanding that because of social media. That's why I use social media the way I use, very strategic. Because of
Mhm.
social media, guess what? CNN doesn't have that much power, like the power they used to have when we were like on not on social media. You know what I mean? They can't be lying anymore like the way they used to lie.
No.
Because we know, I love this. Like, someone posted, a brother from Chad actually posted, like, yo, this is the Haiti that you don't see in the news. Beautiful beach, and when you think about it, everybody flies to Dominican Republic from the U.S. But dude, it's the same Española.
Same. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Hispaniola. And it's like
crazy.
y'all on the other side. Like that's it. Like it's a bush that separates. Um, like what? Like people, I think it's just that they've been brainwashed or
Yeah, the
just
media.
programmed.
The media
Yeah,
is number
basically.
one. The media.
But and I'm just like, but it keeps people out. So that is like good, but it does hurt the economy there because of
Mhm.
tourism. You could have tourism in Haiti. And even with the corrupt government in Haiti, with the police is fighting the army.
Oh, wow,
They're
the police is fighting the army.
Yeah, they're like protesting their conditions and work because they're going against the government. They really want benefits and stuff like that. So it's a lot of corrupt. And like presidents that we get elected is like the last president was Sweet Mickey, which was a musician.
I was
Um,
playing his song. I was playing his T Mickey Timmy Kisan,
Yes.
with a Wyclef. Nous pare, soldat interneto. I like that line.
Like this is where it has come to, where people who are just like, but it's just it's a whole bunch of politicking in there, and it's hard to help a place where they're so used to being doing what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not following nobody out there.
But
Um,
do we understand why though? Like, cause like really, I, I gotta say that like, um, I wish, cause I came from politics. Believe it or not, I came from politics, and it's like the kids of like, I'm sure in Haiti it's the same. This the kids, the
mhm.
sons and daughters of like, you guys have ministers, right? Prime ministers. You have that, or just the
Yeah,
president.
I believe so. I think we have some prime ministers there.
Yeah.
Um,
So the children of the people who work in government, they like flaunting. They like, they walk around like this they the kings and queens, and they don't understand though. It's like you have to really go against the grain. Like I'm saying that because my dad was a diplomat. My dad actually worked for the president of Chad before we came here. And my dad was like, nah, I can't do this because corruption in Chad is so bad. I in 2007, Chad was the number one corrupted country in the world. 2006 or
wow.
2007. But it couldn't do it anymore. And his life was at risk, and that's why we filed for um, political asylum. That's actually why we stayed.
Wow.
Yeah, he was as a diplomat. I think after U.S., after New York, he was supposed to be in France. We were gonna go to France, but he was like, "Nah, I don't want that." Like, and we filed for political asylum. But what I'm saying is like the people, especially the younger generation, like people whose parents have work or are still working for the government. Okay, they may enjoy the benefits of having a dad who is a prime minister or minister or whatever, but that's that bigger picture. Like they don't see the bigger picture. Like, this government is actually hurting most of my, compatriots. It's like I may be
Hmm.
okay, my close family may be okay, but you have millions of people who are not okay because of a decision made by the corrupted officials, the corrupted leaders, presidents. And it's like, how can I get involved in changing things? What I'm trying to say is like we all have an obligation for improving lives in our community. That's what I'm trying to say. Others, most people purposely don't want to do that. I don't know, but
No, there is too much energy. Like
yeah,
they're not trying to. They like, you know what? I'm not gonna ruffle nobody's feathers. I'm okay. I don't want to die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they just think the worst of it, not realizing that the more we are together, the stronger the impact can be made. But people like to think like, you know what, if I don't see it, it's not happening, or let me just turn around, um, because I don't want to get involved or whatever. It's not my problem,
yeah,
but it ends up being everyone's problem. You will be
exactly,
affected. Like,
exactly,
it's just, I mean,
exactly.
we could say this until we go blue in the
I
face.
know,
It's
but
just
at least we're starting the
people just
conversation.
don't care.
At least we're starting this conversation. I mean, it's not the first time the conversation is
Conversation.
started, but it's like I truly believe in this partnership between Africa, the Caribbean, in America, and I'm talking about Black people. That's why being in a
Hmm.
metropolitan city like New York, people don't understand. A lot of people are sleeping. Like, I'm in love with New York because I'm like, I'm proud to say, as a diaspora, like, one, I love New York because I'd be like, I'm able to tell folks I got so many Haitian folks. I don't have to go to Haiti to meet Haitian folks. I don't have to go to Ghana. Like, that's a wonderful thing, yo. I don't have to go to Nigeria, even though Nigerians are everywhere. It's like Yo, you Saint Lucia is like amazing. It's amazing. And
I've never been.
hmm, you never been? No,
No.
but what I'm saying is you don't have to go there. Like you at least you have friends, you have people in New
Right.
York that you don't have to travel to all those places to meet people from all over the world. Everybody is here. One, because the UN is here.
Hmm.
So you have to be open to meeting new folks and not just like, I'm just gonna hang out with people from Chad. I'm just gonna hang out with people from Haiti. But I'm trying to say is like it's a powerful thing to be a black person in New York, and we have to be strategic. We can't change where we come from, and that's the whole platform with like-minded people in NYC through networking. I have my political rallies, but most of my initiatives are like networking driven. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
From I don't know.
No, it's
Go ahead.
I am Djimra. There you go. Djimra. Yeah, so make sure y'all follow it at him at Like-Minded People NYC, right? So it's LMP NYC, right?
Yes,
Gemini.
and the number one, LMP NYC, the number one.
And the number
Yes.
one. Okay. So so that's definitely gonna be there. I'm gonna have that information on the podcast description. But I did want to go into being a like what you said. I want to piggyback off of saying that you wanted to be around people or expose people to different types of people. Like I never met anybody from Chad. Like I was there like, where is
Yeah.
that? Um, and to be in a room full of Africans from all over the place, plus, Black Americans and Haitians and stuff like that. It was just really cool. And so yeah, so I've been on my podcast talking a little bit about my experience at the singles mixer, which I had to really kind of like work myself. Like I was having conversations on the way there. Like I was there, like I don't know what to expect. I This is gonna be real weird to go to a singles mixer, but right now in 2020 is like everything is about dating. Everything is about uh, um, dating parties or let me see, uh, dating parties. The TV show, the show that's Love Is Blind, which is about speed dating. Um, so what led you to like start, because you were basically from a political background, what led you to wanting to do a singles mixer of like African singles? I'm like, okay,
Can you hear me? Can
so
you hear me? I heard your question.
I
I
can,
heard your question.
yeah,
Can you hear me? This is better than before.
I can, yeah, yes, I can
So,
hear you now.
like-minded people NYC. We started in 2016. I said we because it was a collective. 2016. And let me tell you even how the idea started. In 2016, I was turning 31. My my ex-wife slash fiance back then, we organized like a get together at my our favorite bar, which is like 10 degrees in the Lower East Side, and your friends came. You have people that you met in high school, at your first jobs. People
Hmm.
from all over um, New York you have known for a long time. So people came. It was an amazing time, and most of us were black. And I have one or two white folks who came, friends, who came, but most of us were 98% black. And after that, I was like, wow, why can't we do something like that once a month? You know what I mean? Right. Not just once a
Right.
year, but once a month, just something pure, something full of love, just something. All right. right away the following week. I mean, I was born April 7th, so like many people would turn 4 this next month. So, but back then in 2016, a month, not even a week later, I called some of my friends, like engineers, photographers. It's like, hey, we should create something. I don't know what it is, but let's talk. Let's do a bi-weekly meeting, just brainstorm, and then I invited more people. Some of them invited their friends, and then we ended up being 3 or 4. All right, we were like, we need to create
Mm-hmm.
monthly events and create a community, a Black community. And the whole belief was back then there were like a bunch of reckless shooting, white people just shooting Black people, just like I don't, you don't even know why. And the
Right.
other thing was like we Black people, we go to the Dominicans get our nails done, we go to the Dominicans to get a haircut, we go everywhere else except our own to spend our hard-earned money. You know, so that's
This
the
is true.
second pillar. So it's like, all right, we need to create a collective, a community, promote Black folks, artists, entrepreneur. So we were like, all right, let's vote. We really voted on names. We're like, oh, this is the African squad, bunch of names, and we voted. Everybody agreed on like-minded people in NYC. Back then, it didn't make sense to me because it didn't reflect Black or Africa. But today it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Every year it makes sense. I'm like, oh wow, I'm glad we pick like-minded people in NYC because people get drawn to that, and it makes sense to a lot of people. In order to build, you need people who are like-minded. You don't need no yes sirs, but someone who sees your vision.
Exactly.
And we did a picnic. I don't like the word picnic because a lot of people tell me they don't like picnic.
I
But
know.
we did a barbecue.
Yeah.
The first barbecue we had was in 2016, and it was called Akwaba. Akwaba is a Ghanaian language, specifically called Twi, 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 and it means welcome. So we did a welcome, I guess, event, right? Akwaba Picnic was the name back then.
Mm-hmm.
This last year we changed it to Akwaba Marché. You speak Creole, French, Marché, it means market. But the concept was, hey, bring some food from Haiti. I bring food from Chad. We had food from places that you,
Like a
yes,
potluck.
yes, yes. And people got to try food from Chad. I got to try food from places that I haven't been to or places that don't have restaurants in New York. It was dope. We had a DJ. It was amazing. We only did one event in 2016. 2017, we got together and we planned that year. So February we did an art exhibition. The art exhibition we named it Uzuri. Uzuri in Swahili. Swahili is the language spoken in Tanzania, you know, around
Mm-hmm.
that region. Swahili is an African language, but Uzuri means beautiful. So we call our second event or the first event of 2017 Uzuri Art Exhibition. We took a break in March, April. We had a partnership with the African Film Festival because usually
Mm-hmm.
when those filmmakers come, and there are amazing filmmakers out there who make movies that you'd be like, whoa, if you didn't know, you'd be like, wow, yeah. But yeah, the African Film Festival,
Right. Like I said,
and they've
like
been doing
it's
it for
some
a long time
really
too.
good
They've been
and
doing it for a long time. Maybe we just were focused on Nigerian movies and stuff, but there are some dope African filmmakers out there. But the African Film Festival, we did a partnership because we felt like not a lot of people know about the African Film Festival, but it's so good. It's such a good festival. Not a lot of people know about it. And the second thing is when those filmmakers come, they show the movie, and then there's a Q&A session, and everybody goes on. So we're like, nah. After the Q&A,
mm-hmm.
we had two parties because the first leg of the African Film Festival is in Lincoln Center, and the second leg is at the BAM. So the first leg we did a what we call a spotlight on Africa, which is what I use currently for my event. But it was pretty much a mixer with a DJ, and people get to talk to the filmmakers. And I met one of the actresses. She flew from Nigeria. We met, cool. But it was a way again to create networking, to break this wall for whatever reason. We feel like these filmmakers are arrogant, and no, it was cool. And then we did a second spotlight on Africa at 333 Lafayette, which is a Haitian, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that lounge.
which is a sister company to the other one next door. There's a Haitian restaurant next door. I forgot.
Combit?
No,
Combit?
it's right there in Fort Greene. They really Lakai,
Oh,
exactly.
Lakai.
They're sisters, but we did
Oh,
Spotlight in Africa, also a successful event. May, I don't remember what we did in May, but we do events, we do things that bring people together. I'm in charge of a soccer tournament every year called the African Cup of NYC. There's another event that I did for
nice.
artists, poets, jazz comedy called Negumaji. Negumaji is actually Gambai for a good thing. Negumaji. So curating events is Negumaji,
Maji.
N-E space G-U-E space Maji, M-A-G-J-I. Maji actually means good in Gambai. Uh, so
Okay.
I do events because that's the only way people get to interact, right? And I had a
Right.
calendar for February that I created until October last year of events, and flyers were made. And I didn't want to do another just networking mixer. So I asked my graphic designer to switch it up, and let's do a mixer for single folks, because it was February, and the concept is a lot of people are depressed because not everybody's lovey dovey, during that time. I'm being real.
Yeah, no, you're right. You'd be like, you want to throw up every time. Like, well, not everybody is like that, but people want to throw up every time they see somebody like kissing and stuff. And you're like, oh, get a room,
Exactly.
like, and it's just like,
So it's addressing, like, the platform was created to address issues in the Black community. Truly, between you and me, we understand that the foundation of communities are families. And you could tell your
mhm.
listeners how serious the mixer was. It was not like, oh, come and find a booty call. Nah, like, based on the questions that I created. You know what I
Oh
mean?
God.
Tell me, actually,
One of
I'm gonna
the
ask
questions
you,
though,
tell
one
me,
of the
how do you
questions,
feel about questions?
some of the questions were good, but the first question
Uh-huh.
I think that I had to ask was, "What turns you on?" And I was like, "Oh, this is
I like that.
wait." But
Don't you like that? Let me know, though.
the person I was speaking to handled it right. Okay, so where my mind went kind of left. Like I was just like, so I get real giggly and
Mhm.
nervous sometimes, and I'd be like, "How the hell am I supposed to ask this question?" And when I did, he said like he's looking for like what turns him on is ambitious women, stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay, I could deal with that. Normally, somebody else probably would have answered it totally different in a sexual context rather than like a strong
Mhm.
woman and all this extra stuff. So I was just like, like I just giggled because that's what I was expecting.
But it was supposed to be an icebreaker
But
too.
no,
It was
the
supposed to be
question
an icebreaker. The giggly. I like the fact that you said, you felt giggly. It was supposed to, like, make you relax a little bit, a little bit. And good thing that the person that I matched you with, so he was a serious guy.
yeah, like I was just like, okay. Like he was super cool. He was super cool. Um, when I went there, I didn't expect it to be a speed dating
Mhm.
thing. I really didn't. I thought it was just like, everybody who will be here is single, so you just kind of like have a conversation. So I was like, wait, what? I was like, I was bamboozled.
This is a
Like,
setup.
yeah, exactly. So, uh, but it was cool. It was a lot of like-minded people there. I ended up making the contact with Blended Roses May. So so that exposed me to meeting Jerry Wonder with this music video that he was putting together for Coca. So I was just like, like I just was kind of going with the flow by saying yes. By saying yes to invitations, I was like, these fall in the where I'm aligning myself. So I was like, let me go. So it definitely was a success. I brought two of my friends, and I think they took some numbers back.
That's my point.
So, yeah, and literally, that was the first time I ever won anything. No, actually, second time I ever won something in my life. Yeah, because I was sitting there like, oh my God, you have people coming up to the stage and talking about what they do and who they are, and I was like, oh God, please don't. I was like, please don't win, Karen. Please don't win. Don't call my name. I was like, I don't want to go up. And then he was like, Karyne, Karen. I was like, the day I don't want to win. That's when I was just like, okay, but it definitely was a good thing that I did win, because then that's how I got, to talk about what I do. So like it was different. I was never exposed to that. So
It was a
I
chill
would say
vibe,
thank
right?
you.
Nobody was walking around like the Beyonce or Sierra.
No, they weren't. But I think well, I'm definitely RSVP'd for this Sunday. So I think everybody will probably step their game up. But there was you had a lot of dope friends there.
Thank you.
So like I'm really, I was just like, even if I didn't take somebody home, I wouldn't have taken somebody home, like that's not, but like
You see where your
I
mind is,
think
Karen. You
being
see where your
around,
mind is.
listen, I already warned my viewers, my listeners, that I have a perverted mind. I think is because I grew up in Brooklyn. I've been exposed to rap. So, it's there, but I can really mask it. I can really mask it. So
You didn't take anybody. You
I'm
didn't
gonna
take
just leave that
anybody.
there. But
You didn't take anybody
huh?
home. That's what you were saying. I hear.
No, and I don't do that. So I just was like, it just was a cool place to even just go and hang out. The music, I do want to take like African dance. I just want to learn how to do some of the new dances, because I see you dance. You actually have like a video up of you dancing. I'm like, oh, okay, this dude, he out here doing everything. Like, when do you have? First of all, what do you take? Like, what keeps you energized? Because this just don't make no sense. You sitting here dancing, throwing events every protesting. Like, what? I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, what are you taking? Like, I took tea. Like, I don't know.
my witness. Okay. I believe in God, and I believe in the vision God put in my heart. I'm telling you, I'm so passionate and emotional about it. And it's because I love my people. You know what I mean? I just don't love people from Chad. I love Black people. I love us. I love us. We're so innocent. We are innocent. We are so powerful. That's why sometimes I'm like, we're not just fighting humans. We are fighting the devil himself because there's no sense in
Yep.
the treatment, the heartache we've gone through. You know what I mean? It's insane what we've gone through. If you want to be specific, our people got their foot chopped, like hands, chopped and hung, and we, you can never forget that. What pushes me is one, like the grace of God. So I always want to give praises to my creator. It's like it's a grassroots movement because I'll be honest, I'm a baby in contrast to, I'm sure you heard of OK Africa, or you heard of Afropunk, or even though Afropunk is not really black per se, it's like
I know.
you hear, but there are
Yeah.
folk around the same time, or maybe 2 years before I started, who were doing stuff already, like everyday people, for example. And I try to be different because
Right.
we could just dance, party, and not give the microphone to other folks to talk. That's every event that I do. I dedicate 10 minutes. Either I talk about why I do what I do, and then I let others who want to speak as well, because that sets my events apart. It's not just come and dance and grind on people. It's really, we need to build communities. We need to build sustainable communities. We need to really work with each other. We need to put down our pride. We need to put down our fear. We're afraid of each other. I don't know why. I understand, but a lot of times it's because we've been
Mm.
conditioned. So it's like a deconditioning process, even for myself. Because the fact of the matter is, our dignity is on the line. So I'm not a superhero. I'm a very practical type of person. So even in terms of events, it's like I ask myself, what do I like doing? I like soccer. I love soccer. I love going out. So I do events based on what I like and what most people like. I like art. So I put art exhibition together. Bless you. I don't know
Makes
if you sneeze.
sense.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Sorry.
said makes sense. But thank you. Thank you. I'll put that in the bank. Like I'll just, hold it for next time I sneeze and nobody around. Um, but no, it makes sense. Like when you do things that you're passionate about, and
Mhm.
it's like contagious. Not like Corona, but it's like it actually
That's a
like
good one.
um, right. It makes other people do the same thing. Like, I can't enjoy something if you're
Mhm.
not really in it. Like my podcast, I've always wanted to talk. I love talking. Sometimes I like clam up in front of people sometimes, but when it comes to radio, like, personality, having the conversation, I like getting to know people. So having the podcast and giving people the platform to just talk about what they're doing and their experiences and things like that, like what they've gone through, it fuels me because I like being around people who are genuine and have no agenda, and they don't have to ask people to promote them or anything like that. It's just like I just promote people just because that's what I like doing. Like I'm like I really like what you're doing, and I'm gonna post it, and if there's something that comes out of it, it does. But if it don't, it doesn't matter because I just want people to see what's happening. So like when it comes to photography or anything like that, I'd be like, look, I do everything. Like I like everything. So I get it when you say that you wanted to create like, stock like an event. I mean, not an event, but the league for the soccer team because you play soccer. Um, and if you look through your page, you can see who you are. Like I can see who you are and what type of person you are. And it's a very outgoing, passionate person and a community person. I think, and I love the fact that you created or made the event in Brooklyn, because for me, I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up in Brooklyn, and we go by spread love. It's the Brooklyn way, you know. So that's one of the big things about Brooklyn. We're very lovable, but we're still real at the same time. Like we, like you can't really, you can't nothing Brooklyn. You be like, what? What will show you so much love at the same time? So like, I mean, but you went to Queens. You grew up. When you came to New York,
half and half.
Yeah, went to Queens.
20 years, I'll be honest. I moved to Brooklyn in 2012, and I cannot believe how fast time has gone. It's crazy. 8 years now in Brooklyn. Out of 20 years in this is crazy.
Oh, so it was 8 years in Brooklyn, and it was 12 years in Queens? I wanted to plug this thing in because you said you came in. So back to America. No, coming to America. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Coming to America, he was in search of his queen, and he went to Queens. So your family settled in Queens. I'm like, was that? But yeah, that's just kind of funny for me. But Brooklyn is where it's at.
Dangerous back then.
So welcome. Well, it was, but it was super fun. Even when it was dangerous, it was like super fun. Like, yes. What? I grew up in Brooklyn.
I don't know about that.
I grew up in Crown Heights. Listen, I grew up in Crown Heights. Yes, we used to, well, being Black, you can make fun out of anything. Like you could really be creative and make anything a game, right? So we used to be outside and all this other stuff. In hindsight, now that I see it now, I'm like, yo, we could have died a couple of times or been kidnapped, but that was the focus. We weren't like a community of fear back then. Like we wasn't a generation of fear. So we was just like out, like having fun. Now everybody is fearful, everybody's scared. But growing up, man, listen, best times. Best time was when it was back in the days in the 90s and stuff like that.
It's the best time, do or die too.
What? Facts. Well, there were places when you live in Brooklyn, you know where places not to go. Like you wouldn't go to Bed-Stuy, you wouldn't go to Fulton, you wouldn't go to East New York, or like Bronxville. Like you wouldn't go to those areas at all. Like New Lots, no. You would stay in like right, like you wouldn't go. You wouldn't go. Fulton was scary as hell. Like now it's all shopping and all this extra stuff, but it was scary. Crazy. You could not go there after hours. Yeah, like what? It was scary. Now I'm like, wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? When they said like Brooklyn is changing, it's changing for the better. A lot of the people can't live here, but we no longer fearing for our lives. Like like now we can explore Brooklyn in its entirety. But back in the days, those territories you just didn't go to. Like
you stay away from those
if you wanted to live.
How do you feel about the change?
Yes. Okay, so
how do you feel about the change, the gentrification?
Huh? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because there's some things that now I'm like, we got more quality stuff that comes in now. You know, so certain things we're not exposed to, like, crackheads. Yeah, exactly. Crimes and stuff like that. So it's just better. Now it's just everybody got a dog. That's kind of where I just have a problem with, like, the dogs. Like, no, it's serious. Like, everybody and their mama got a dog. Like, really? And nobody want to put the dog on a leash. Like, I just be like, yo, not everybody is that okay with dogs. Yeah, I've been attacked by dogs. Like, it's just like I have a fear that I'm trying to get over, and that's the only problem I have with gentrification is that there are more dogs.
I didn't get
There are
attacked
more
by a
dogs
dog.
around.
You were attacked by a dog.
But yes, like I felt like they smelled my fear and they just was like, I'm going to chase this girl. Like everywhere I went, there was a dog that just wanted to bite me. Like I was just like, yo, like
That's crazy.
can I live? Yeah, I mean, I also
2 weeks
had a
only?
dog. I had a dog for 2 weeks. Yep, I had to give him back. My brother had like mad dogs, and he was like, "Oh, you want one?" I was like, "You know what? I want to go get over my fear of dogs." I was like, "It was a Yorkie. He was like 2 months old, and I loved him, but I still was scared of him at the same time because I was just like, don't bite my toe." Like it was so. So he started getting bigger,
Oh, wow.
and he started biting my shoes when I left him. Yeah, so I just was like, "Nah, we're not doing this." And I gave him back. But I was like, I had a dog, and for someone to be scared of dogs, I think I lived, So I was like, that's off my bucket
That's
list,
interesting.
Yeah, my mother was like, get that damn dog out of I was like, can you just just like him a little bit? He's so cute. But yeah, okay. So we're gonna go back to the thing because Sunday everybody's getting ready. Everybody getting ready for that. I go to church in the morning. Last time I went to church, and then I came over to the mixer. So,
well,
what do you expect for
with
Sunday?
the coronavirus thing, I'm really trying to encourage people to know that we're Black people and we'll be okay.
First of all, the corona ain't got nothing on love. Okay, so corona is not stopping nothing. Black people are coming out. They like, what? There's a potential of finding somebody. I am coming out. We both gonna have corona. Like it just don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things and people who are like with the big the NBA and stuff like that. I guess a lot of Caucasians and Asians and all that, they're exposed to that. But I'm like, Black people like, say what? Just wash your hands. Just wash your hands and cover your mouth.
I was inspired by an event. I'm going to an event. Speaking of energy, tonight. You invited. Come through. Please be my guest. It's going to be dope. Mm-hmm. I'm going to send you the yes.
Me?
Come.
Tonight? Come. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be like, we on this whole podcast. We be corona friendly out this. Okay, send me the. Okay, you invited me, but I'm gonna say, if I come, that like I mean, like I don't want to say yes because I have a phobia of commitment. I'm just joking. Well, I mean, you're telling me on the same day though. This is. Send me the information if it's in.
Husbands to think I'm flirting with you. This is just me inviting you because I know you're gonna like it, and speaking with you now is like your type of environment. Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah. So I got potential husbands out there. Like, oh my God!
But I believe in networking, business too. So come, you should come. I texted you just now. Cocktails,
Okay.
Yeah, cocktails.
Oh, you move quick.
And see, read what I sent you.
Okay, hold on. Coronavirus.
It's an art exhibition.
It's
But I'm just saying how
oh, this
cautious
is
they are.
cool.
They like everything will be like spotless, clean, and they're giving out free gloves and masks.
No, so
I
people
don't
gonna be
know.
walking around with
For like
masks and stuff.
tomorrow, like for I don't know, for you future use.
Oh,
It's
oh, okay.
meeting
All
at 6
right.
p.m.
Okay. What time does it
No, it's
start?
tonight.
Hold,
6 p.m.
I see the
Tonight.
date.
Tonight is open.
Huh?
Yeah, tonight is VIP opening reception. So
Tonight?
it's like the people in the industry, and then the door tomorrow will be open to everybody else. You're not trying to do VIP. You know.
Oh, okay. Yo,
Yeah,
you be
I was
disappearing.
just texting you.
Huh?
I was just texting you, like everything went blank. What happened?
Oh, maybe because I went to go see your text.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh,
Whenever you yeah,
okay. So I won't look at none of your texts no more. So stop texting.
just show up at 6. You have 3 hours. You have 2 hours to rest and an hour to get ready
Oh, okay. So
and commute.
that means you did hear me.
No, I didn't hear anything. I didn't.
Oh, okay. So what I was saying is, as I have been getting older, my sleeping has, like I don't stay out too late because I'm old.
Yeah.
So my curfew that I have put on myself has been like 10 o'clock because
Oh, that's good. No, this is 6 to 9, 6
okay,
to 9 p.m. You'll be home by 10.
cool. All right.
Yeah,
So,
it's just
okay. So this whole conversation that went like we're going to the event. So yeah, guys, look, I just said yes to an event tonight. Oh, wait, actually, it's not tonight because
it's tonight.
record.
It is tonight, trust me.
But when the viewers listen to, I mean, the listeners listen to
Oh,
it
okay.
Monday. So
Yes.
today
Yeah.
is Friday. No, today's Thursday. What am I?
Yeah.
My days. So this is Thursday. We're going out. So I will post in text how this event went, or I'll give like a recap on the week after, so everybody will know. So again, I'm speaking with Djimra Koumtog. He has been living here for 20 years. Still has an accent. Dope. That's dope.
Hey, I could do it. Actually, like, oh, yo,
Well, I feel like I'm going to learn a lot of different meanings and words in Chad. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so again, everybody, this conversation was about everything. Basically, it's about like-minded people. And as you can see, I always gravitate to people who are really like-minded. Like me, my brain is all over the place. I think a lot. I am every time people get hang out with me or talk to me, they learn a little bit more because they're like, oh, I thought you was just this, and I'm like, nah, I'm not I'm never in a box. So so if people see me, they'll be like, you're a photographer. I'm like, nope. Like, guess again. What what do you think? So I'm just me, and I'm glad to have met you, Djimra.
I'm glad I met you too.
Oh, I feel so warm inside. So I guess let me hurry up and get off this call so I can take a nap and then get ready for tonight. So I'll see you then. I'll just have this conversation. So everybody, this is actually as authentic as ever. This was not planned. You see how things go. You have any last words that you have for the listeners?
Honestly, we each Black people have a duty to improve ourselves first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our families, communities, countries. Okay, the U.S. is our country now that we are U.S. citizens. But let's not
Mm-hmm.
forget Haiti, where our parents came from, Chad, Jamaica. Let's not forget Africa, ultimately. I don't care who you are African. You are black,
Yeah.
you are African. And and guess what? The image of Africa, when the image of Africa was super bad, everybody was ashamed. I've seen people, oh, I'm not from Africa. The same way you said, people denying the fact that they were Haitian because of the image of Africa. And then Black Panther comes out, everybody's pro-black now, everybody's pro-African now, Afrobeat is popping, and thanks to a lot of us, we knew knowing who you are goes back to even you doing your own research, not just Googling. Go to a library, look for books, look for documents that would tell you about the true history of Africa. Because believe it or not, Africa is important, has been important. Anything and everything that we have today, from technology to art, we create those things. So we need to mind our present, but also be aware of the future. And we need to create a future for future generation. I'm always thinking 100, 200, 300 years from now. That's how these white folks have been thinking. Guess what? 400 years after slavery, we are still struggling. Our forefathers, as far as black forefathers, I could think of Marcus Garvey, for example. They did their best, but there was no pragmatic initiative for future generations. And this is what like-minded people is all about. Connecting us in the present, but finding ways for future generation to prosper, to do and be better than us. And that requires a vision. But yeah, link up with like-minded people, LMP NYC on Twitter. Mostly I'm active on Instagram. I'm not into TikTok or what you Snapchat or
On
Instagram.
Snapchat.
Yeah, I'm not really into the Instagram. Hopefully it stays relevant because a lot of business has been generated through Instagram. We have a website, lmpnyc.org. We bought all three domains, like-mindedpeoplenyc.org or lmpnyc.org or lmpnyc1.org. All those bring you to the same site. So thank you for listening. Hopefully you'll come to the next event, but only because you will hear about this on Monday. We have events coming up. Just link up with us on Instagram to see future events. And thank you again. Thank you for inviting me to that.
You're welcome. So guys, you already know I'm gonna be real animated with this stuff. We're gonna take photos. I'll be on Sunday and actually tonight. Like, it's just crazy. So again, follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff to Like-Minded People NYC. So it's at LMP NYC1. All right. So thank y'all before we go into 2 hours doing this stuff. So I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Djimra.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Thank you again for listening to Beauty and Braids. I'm your girl Karyne, and this has been another great day. Until next time, you'll hear from me then. In the meantime, please follow me on @HairByKaryne, @ShopBraidAppeal, and @YTC Nonprofit. Get to know me a little bit better. Check them out. Bye.